teenagers particularly are chronically sleep deprived. There's very little doubt about that. If you were to sample a typical high school classroom, I'll bet you there will be a 25 to 30% incidence.
What appears to be happening increasingly with teenagers now is taking that normal delay and going far too far with it. So through use of computers and technology and Facebook and iPhones and everything else known to man, teenagers staying up later and later and later. Then as you move into the evening period, you try to avoid physical activity so that actually cortisol and body temperature start to go the other way. Darkness comes on, so actually that requires turning the lights out, stopping all the computers, TVs, everything else, to allow melatonin to surge onwards. You'll then go to sleep much more deeply, into deeper phases of sleep, and you'll wake up feeling much more refreshed. In the modern age, your chance of being fat, diabetic and having cardiovascular disease, and additionally having depression and mood and psychiatric problems goes up if you sleep poorly.
It has been proven that half of all teenagers are sleep deprived, as more than half of them are not getting the right amount of sleep. And due to modern technology, they are always watching films until the early hours of the morning. Teenagers could never fall asleep easily, and there is actually proof as to why. At night time, there is an increased level of the darkness hormone, melatonin, which helps us to fall asleep. Most adults start to produce melatonin at about 10 p.m. But when teenagers were studied in a sleep laboratory, it was shown that they only start to develop the melatonin hormone at about 1 a.m, which is why they can't ever get to sleep.
Okay, so we've just done a case study with you. You had an app to check your sleep each night. So you did 3 nights with how much sleep you usually get, which was around 6 to 7 hours of sleep. And then you tried 3 nights with getting the amount of sleep a teenager your age at 16 years old should be getting, which was 8 to 9 hours sleep. So how did you feel once getting 6 and 7 hours sleep? Obviously that's how much you usually get. So did you still feel the same as you usually do every day?
Well, when I got more sleep, I definitely felt way more productive than I did when I was running low on sleep.
Yeah.
I was just so much more tired then.
Did you noticeably see the difference of getting when you got more sleep?
Yeah, I definitely was more focused during class and I wasn't yawning half as much.
Okay.
So yeah.
Did you find it easier to get out of bed in the morning?
Yes.
Were you late when you used to get 6 or 7 hours sleep? Were you late often because you couldn't get out of bed?
Yeah, I was very late most of the time, especially for my morning lessons. So when I got more hours sleep, I was more capable of getting out of bed early in the morning, so I was on time to college.
Yeah. So you found yourself, it was affecting your education. And with exams coming up, were you happy that you were able to get a few nights sleep of 8 to 9 hours sleep?
Yeah, because then when I came home I didn't really feel the need I needed to nap, so then I was able to study more.
Yeah. And do you think if you could, do you think it's possible for you to continue to getting 8 or 9 hours sleep a night?
I think if I did try hard enough I would be able to.
Yeah. So what sort of hours were you doing then, sleeping?
Well, before I was doing 6 to 7.
Yeah.
And now I know the difference that it makes and how much it impacts me when I am running low on sleep, and then 8 to 9 hours definitely has improved myself.
Yeah.
For college.
Good. And with 6 to 7 hours sleep, how much did you feel that you would nap? So how often did you nap a week and how long were the naps?
I think probably about 2-3 times a week I would nap for about maybe an hour or 2. So
Okay.
Not too bad, but still not great.
Yeah. And did you find that you were more productive once you woke up from those naps and then you got stuff done, or were you more groggy?
I felt way more groggy after a nap.
So it didn't really benefit you in any way?
No.
Did you find that when you had either 6 or 7 and 8 or 9 hours, did you wake up much in the night? For either of the sets of hours you were sleeping?
No.
So you slept all the way through both?
So it just shows how tired I am.
Yeah, exactly. How long would you say it took you to fall asleep?
20 minutes.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you for being in the case study.
Did you know that anything less than 5 minutes to fall asleep at night means you're sleep deprived? From the picture showed on screen, this shows how much sleep each age should get on average.
Teenagers are meant to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night, but usually end up getting only 7 hours of sleep per night, which is why they struggle to wake up so much.
How much sleep would you say you get on average per night?
I probably get 5 to 7 hours of sleep.
Okay.
I'd say about 7.
Do you find that you're still tired when you wake up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you nap that often?
Yes.
How many times a
too
week?
much. Like every day. At least a nap every day.
For how long?
Like an hour and a half.
Well,
Maybe 2 hours.
if I nap for like 5 hours, which is really bad because I'll wake up at like 10 o'clock at night and I'm like, where did the day go?
And then that gets you out of your routine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I try not to nap, otherwise I just won't go back, won't wake up.
Realistically, how much sleep would you like to get per night?
9 hours.
So 10. Oh, yeah, 10. Well, I mean, I could sleep for literally 14 hours, but 10 would be probably...
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would be a healthy amount.
Yeah.
Do you find you're more productive when you do get sleep?
Yeah, and I'm always in a better mood when I've had more sleep.
And you can get up like
Yeah.
on time and get stuff
Yeah.
done. Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Can you tell when a student has not had enough sleep, and if so, what are the signs?
As a teacher, you can always tell when students come in tired or awake, really, if they've not had enough sleep, if they've had a busy weekend, if they've had a late night, purely because they're so lethargic. And they're quite open about having lack of sleep, to be honest, but even if they weren't, students tend to sit, slouch, put their hands in their heads and stuff like that. Their work isn't as good at all, unfortunately. But it's more often than not that students do come in tired because they don't go to bed till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning because that's their natural habit, if you like. So they've either got to learn to go to bed earlier or get used to it and be more proactive and more productive when they're tired.
Yeah. Would you say that students never do as well in the first lesson, like when it's early at 8:45?
Oh, they never do as well. Students come in late normally to my first lessons, and when they do rock up, it's a mission, to be honest. It takes about 10 minutes to even get them to function and focus on what the task is at hand. Monday mornings especially, it's all chat and all kind of, I did this, I did that, because they're not ready for the week ahead. They've just woken up, they haven't given themselves time to get over the weekend. And so yeah, my morning lessons are a bit of a mission, if I'm honest, especially the first 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. And you said before that you can clearly see the students that haven't had the right amount of sleep because they're more lethargic. And you said they do worse. They
do worse. They just don't, there's not the concentration there. So it takes them a lot longer to do a certain task, or if I'm getting them to go out and do filming or do productions or to edit something and I say, right guys, you've got 10 minutes, even to get the brain functioning, it takes about 10 minutes and then the task time is up. And so generally their work isn't done because they've had to kind of get themselves motivated to do it, whereas if they'd gone to bed or they were less tired, they'd be more motivated, they'll be in ready for the day ahead and ready for the tasks ahead, and they're just not if they don't sleep well the night before.
There's a rumour going around that some schools want to start their lessons at 10. How do you feel about that as a teacher?
There is a college, I think it's in Swindon, that starts at 10, and their grades have gone up dramatically apparently, but they finish later, so they finish at 6. So I don't know if it's really effective because by the time you guys get home after 6, it's kind of 7, half 7 for some of our students, and then they've got homework to do, and that's not going to get done either. So yes, they may be more proactive and productive in the mornings, but is their homework getting done? Are things that are being set later on in the evening, is that getting done? I'm not so sure. So there's swings and roundabouts really. And I know it's proven that teenagers and up to the age of 21, I think, your body doesn't function. You have that pattern where you're awake till 2 and you shouldn't start work or do much before 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But I think if you condition yourself to go to bed at a reasonable enough time, you're going to be fine at 8:45 in the morning. You just need to understand that that's when you have to start work. Really.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your time.
As you can see from the documentary, teenagers aren't getting the right amount of sleep. In fact, they're getting about 6 or 7 hours of sleep per night, and that's just not enough. It affects their education and their ability to absorb information. They aren't getting up in the morning, and when they come home from school every day, they aren't going on to do any extra work like homework or revision and stuff like that.